Hello knitters, Phelan from Strands Knitting Studio in San Clemente, California. And today I have classes and one of our favorite yarns is back in the studio, so stay tuned. First class coming up is our Intarsia class, which is the bunny pillow. There's the bunny pillow. He's so cute, I know. So this is Intarsia, where you're putting a picture in the middle of the field of knitting. So like you got this field of pink, we got a white picture in the middle. So you have to start and stop yarns as you go through the row. And so, and you have just, the pink is just hanging out, the white's hanging out, and this pink's hanging out. So you go to here, there's a white hanging out right here, you pick it up, go to here. There's a pink hanging out right here, you go to here. You come back, you use that pink, the white, pick up the white, pick up the pink, and go here. And that's it. And then of course you're following a chart so that you know how many, sort of like a cross-stitch chart, you know, it's just a color chart. So you know how many whites to do and how many pinks to do and that kind of thing. So this is a really fun project. I put it on the back of a pillow because that's my favorite cheat. And this is a really pretty pillow. And instead of having to knit a backing or sew a backing, this is my favorite way to do it. But you can knit a backing or sew a backing. And I'm always of the opinion that anything in the front, especially if it's like this, a striped back with those colors is always really cute. So, anyways, that class is coming up on Sunday, February 15th from 10 to 12. Okay, and then the next class is the vest class, which is on the 28th, and that's a Saturday from 12 to 2. 28th Saturday from 12 to 2. So I'm still working on mine. I was hoping it'd be done, but it's not. So, but I've got it, like it's off my needles down here. So the body's done. So I've got the body is done. And then I've picked up the neckline and I'm doing the neckline. And then I have to pick up around the arms and put a ribbing around the arms. Now this neck is going to be a folded neck. You don't have to do a folded neck. You can just, like I could stop right now and bind off and be done. But since the pattern calls for a folded neck, I'm going to do the folded neck so that you know what that looks like a person that's not even sure what that means, you'll know what it looks like. And then you can make the decision whether you want to or not. And that's the fun of knitting, you know, you can change things. That's simple. That's just simple changing. Because right now I'm about to do either knit or purl row, I forget which, probably a purl row, so that it has a folding row, and then I'll rib again so that I can fold it over, and then I'm attaching it, and I'm attaching it to the little seam right here. So, but you could just bind off right now. So it's up to you what you want. And so again, I love this yarn, love this yarn. This is the Rambouillet, hold on, Rambouillet yarn. These are the neutral colors. I've got some turquoise or aqua and blues and a rust color and the green color, that really dark green color I'm working on. So the Rambouillet, this is a DK weight yarn, and it is totally sourced from the States, from Rambouillet merino sheep, and this is extra fine merino. It's so nice and soft and lovely. It's a lovely, lovely, lovely yarn. So this is an option. So now I gave you options. There's a DK pattern and there's a worsted weight pattern. The construction is basically exactly the same, so you could pick either one. We happen to have a lot of DK in right now, a lot more than actually worsted. I was sort of looking for worsteds, and we have a lot more DKs in right now. And so I'm going to show you some. See, that's, yeah. Okay, so we have this Patagonia Organic Merino, which has tons of yardage on it. It has, 382 yards. So you would only need 2 of these. And we have lots of different colors. Again, it's a lovely, lovely merino. Merino's always the best. Merinos just don't itch. They're just, they're amazing. So we have this one. And then we have, that's for the worsted. So the other thing that's back in the studio is our beloved Dream in Color. So Dream in Color is back. We got an order. Dream in Color is back in the studio. And this is a DK weight. Hold on a minute. We have tons of colors. But this is the Dream in Color. And it's lovely, a lovely yarn. So this has cashmere in it. So it's super wash merino, 20% cashmere and 10% nylon. And we use this for everything. I mean, I've made so many baby things. When we first started carrying this a few years ago, I made so much, I couldn't knit with anything else. Like everything I wanted to knit, I'm going to use Dream. But we've done a lot of baby stuff in this, a lot of, you know, sweaters. It's DK. So, you know, the options are endless to what you can do with it. But it's because it has that little bit of cashmere in it. It's just a really, really nice yarn. And the coloring, this is all hand dyed. So the colors are amazing. And as I said, we have a ton of colors. But this just came in. So, and if you've just been waiting for Dream to come in, come in. But this would make a wonderful vest, a truly wonderful vest is the Dream in color. And then if you're going for worsted, the one I would highly suggest is Kathmandu, which is a merino and silk blend. And again, it's very soft and it's a tweed. So you can see it's sort of tweedy. So if you like the tweedy look, this is it. It wears really well. I knit my son a sweater years ago and he wears it a lot and it looks brand new. It doesn't pill. It wears really well. It's a really great yarn. So this would also make a really, really nice vest. And this is a worsted weight. And I'm going to throw out this one because this is just such a lovely yarn and we still have enough of 7 colors to do a vest out of. This is Hanui silk. So this is from Australia. It's a Noro yarn. It's from Australia. So it's a Japanese yarn from Australia. And they're all natural colors and the silk content isn't that much. But man, when you are actually, 35% silk, but when you actually are knitting, you feel the silk. It's so squishy. It's so silky. And it's just an amazing yarn. We did a weekender sweater out of this. And yeah, so this is an option too. And this is worsted. So this is worsted. And depending on your size, it's going to be 2 or 3 skeins because there's also like 360 yards or something on this one. So those are some options. There's many more in the store. I can't pick them all out, you know, but those give you some other options of things you might consider if you're looking to do the vest. And so again, so the vest is on February. I was going to say October. The vest is Saturday, February 28th from 12 to 2. So one thing I want to talk about is in my workshops, I have a lot of people that have lots of different things going on. And now that it's after Christmas, they're sort of going back and tackling the things that have been sitting there waiting for them. And so I just have I have just a few ideas on how to tackle. Like if you have some unfinished projects sitting around and you're like, I should knit on those. What you should do, or what you could do, there's no shoulds in knitting. What you could do is sort of pull them out and look at them and see how much more you've got left. Lots of times you're almost done with it, and then a new bright shiny thing came and you set it down and you haven't gone back. So one thing is most of the time you're sort of closer to being done than you think you are, which is always yay. And then if you want to sort of tackle, like I would pick the one that's almost done, the closest to being done, and I would pull that one out and just work on it. You know, however you want to divide your time between, you could just work on it and then go to a new project, or you could, you know, do a new project, work on that on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Like there's a lot of ways you could sort of schedule working on the older project to complete it and still being able to work on other things that you want to be working on. But it's a good idea to sort of just look and take stock. Also, if there's something in there that's sort of not started and not really, or even half done, and you know you're never going to use it, you don't like it, take it out. You do not have to finish it. Take it out and reclaim that yarn. I've said this before, but you have permission to take it out and let the yarn be a different project. You do not have to finish what you started there. So if it's something that if you look at it, you go, I just don't want to do this. Take the yarn out and take it out, reclaim your yarn, and see if it finds another project that it wants to do instead. So total permission to do that. You are the boss of your own knitting. Nobody else is, just you. So those are some ideas on how to start working and getting the unfinished stuff so that it's not hanging out in the back of your head, because it sort of is one of those, if it's hanging out in the back of your head, it does minimize your joy of knitting some. Like it's just because it's that niggly thing in the back. So let's just sort of conquer it. And again, find the one that's the most closest to being done and just start with that one and get it finished, and it makes you feel so good. and then you can move on to the next one. And in a couple months, you may have all your works all done, and you can just like, I can do whatever I want now because those are done. Okay, and that's it for today. And I hope to see you in the studio real soon. Bye.